going on? We are live with Talking Ish again. I'm Trip Six, joined by Kayla Berry, as always. Our topic for today is it's going to be Mount Rushmore. You probably saw the title I put. We're not talking shit about Mount Rushmore, although I'm pretty damn sure we could. We are going to be talking about our top 4 favorite things in a given category, or just ratings. So the Mount it's our Mount. We're creating Mount Rushmore for the things that we enjoy and the things we want to do. We also, you'll notice the lights a little different. Trying to set some mood lightings. We got some lights up there that are changing. I like that it's changing colors. We got some more stuff in the background. I'll be updating, maybe hanging some stuff right here. Maybe like a whiteboard is what Kayla was talking about doing. So we'll have it all done up and looking good. But for now,
if you say brown chicken, brown cow in a certain way, it sounds like an intro to a porno. Brown chicken, brown cow.
Make sure your mic's off.
Shout out to Grunge on that one.
Grunge?
Yeah, he's the one who taught me that.
Who's Grunge?
I don't know. Guy I play Fortnite with.
Oh, I was like, you said it. That was your guy.
No, when I originally moved from here to Oregon, I was trying to find more people on the West Coast to play with, because all my partners and everything were here on the East Side, so one of us was going to have a high ping, so I went and bounced some people over there.
Makes sense. Smart kid.
Alright, what's the first topic?
Are you good at Fortnite?
Huh?
Are you good at Fortnite?
Am I good at Fortnite?
Would you say that you are talented at Fortnite?
Absolutely not.
No.
No, I am trash beyond belief.
Hayden, we got ourselves a little live audience. My son and my daughter out here watching.
No, I'm trash. If we're talking about with us and our friends, okay, but if we're talking about just when I jump into lob, no, I suck.
Yeah, he's not even remotely. All right, so what are we gonna do here? What is our first topic for our Mount Rushmore episode?
Mount Rushmore of comedians.
Comedians.
Comics. Stand-up comics.
Okay, so we're going backwards, right? 4, 3, 2,
Yeah.
1. Okay, just so everybody's clear as we name off.
Now, you guys got to give us a break. He might be more in depth with some of the old heads. I know a lot of people are high on for the stand-up comedian, Eddie Murphy. What was that one he did in the red jumpsuit?
The leather special.
There we go. You know what I mean? That's iconic. There's that. Who's that old vulgar guy?
What, Louis Black?
No, I'll remember the name if you said it. He's an old guy,
Oh, you're talking about George Carlin.
There we go, George Carlin. But this is more our opinion. This isn't what we think of. This is our opinion. What top 4 comedians? Here you go. You're only allowed to listen to these 4 comics for the rest of your life. Who you got? All new content too. Here's the thing. You know what I mean? If they were gonna make all new content every time you heard their jokes. So I don't want you to take into consideration. Well, he might have a bigger library than him. Who is your 4 favorite comedians, stand-up comics? Number 4.
Yeah, I also wanted to just add that it's all opinions, because I'm gonna say a couple of names, and like he said, I know people, but
these are people that we enjoy watching.
Tom Segura is on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, oh yeah, he's there.
For me, Tom Segura definitely is on my Mount Rushmore. I would also say George Carlin, though. I would have to put George Carlin up there. That man is not only funny, smart, extremely.
So who's your number 4?
Right. We're going backwards. I'm a jackass. Okay.
Who we got? We got number 4.
Probably Mike Birbiglia.
Enlighten me.
On who he is?
Yes.
I told you. He was the one that was. He was the one that was talking about. He had this joke where he's talking about him and his friends used to go jump off of a tree into a lake. Like that was your initiation into Boston. He goes, I'm from Boston, so you know cars and whatever. And he goes, so
Is that the Nyuk guy?
no.
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 Okay.
So he was like, I'm gonna, you know what? It's my time for the tree, whatever. So he goes, so I'm gonna go up there, and he goes, I get up to the branch, and I immediately, I'm like, no, fuck that, I'm not jumping off this tree. I don't want to be from Boston, I guess. Like, no.
Okay, so this is definitely something I'm gonna have to listen into. Like, you're gonna have to remind me of the name so I can check up. I have.
Mike Birbiglia. But he ends up saying that like. Yeah. Savannah asked, "Is he the what I should have said was nothing?" Yeah. Sorry. So a quicker joke is that he was He's in the apartment complex. He sees his neighbor moving in a couch. It's a female, and he walks over. He helps her with the bed, and they're walking into the apartment. She goes, "Oh well, at least there's good people, you know, in the world, because like a rapist wouldn't help you move your bed to your apartment." And he's like, and what I should have said was nothing. But what I did say was, you'd be surprised.
God damn it.
Yes, that's him.
Okay.
Okay, so anyway, so Mike Birbiglia. And, ready? I'm going to controvert.
Hold on, let me drop my 4.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or 4.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the 4. I have 3, but there's
I already have my third one. Locked and loaded.
He's not even a big name guy, but I could watch his stand up over and over again. I'm going Josh Wolf.
He is not big at all. He is like definition of local.
Yeah, but dude,
he's funny
all his stand up, like dude, I've watched it a million times and I can never get enough of it. Like,
yeah, he's funny. I like him a lot. My third would be Anthony Jeselnik.
I know who you're talking about. His one-liners.
Oh, I love his one-liners.
I haven't tried to watch it since I started my herbal diet, so maybe I give him another try.
Herbal diet.
If I'm doing 3, Gabriel Iglesias. Fluffy. I gotta go Fluffy.
I won't argue with that. He's funny as hell, man.
Yeah.
Oh, he's funny. I will be honest though, his recent stuff isn't that great.
No, he's gotten a little more serious. I mean, I still crack some yucks at his stand up, but it's not the same. You know what I mean? Because you can smell it.
So there's that. Real quick, do you think? Okay, so when you talk about, because we had brought up the nostalgia on the last episode. And we were talking about how things aren't the same anymore. Do you think things aren't the same? Movies we loved aren't as good as we remember. Music isn't as good as we remember. Is it because, or they're, sorry, I forgot where I was going, because you had just said we were talking about their new stuff isn't. So what I meant to say was, in that nostalgia respect, is their stuff not good anymore? Or have we grown up and our taste has changed so it doesn't appeal to us as much?
I really want to say that our taste has changed, and I'll give you a prime example is Dane Cook.
That's who I would stay away from his shit nowadays, my guy. Like,
well, he's first of all, I just think it's extra creepy with the whole he's 50-something years old and his wife's like 19.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
And apparently, like, he knew her when she was...
No.
Yeah, so...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's real bad. But no, like, a lot... Dude, I'm telling you, like, you had his soundtrack to one of his stand-ups, and we would listen to it over and over, and we would die laughing, and then I realized, like, okay, some of the stuff you said, yeah, you know, crack a joke, hee and whatnot, But a lot of his stuff, dude, he was just super fucking loud and energetic.
When he's talking about the alien,
He's like,
just down there.
I'm gonna stick my cock in this horse's mouth.
And beat him with a lead pipe. Yeah, that's
Alright, so we used to crack and die about all that, and now
So,
we're doing
I would argue that maybe our tastes have changed, and Gabriel is the same comedian. But that's just so. Gabriel Iglesias third, Anthony Jeselnik. Number 2 for me would be George Carlin.
George Carlin.
Which, if you guys were listening at the beginning, you already know who number 1 is then. But
And my number 2 is Bert Kreischer.
okay, so that means that we both have the exact same number 1,
Tom Segura.
and that's Tom Segura. And this man is funny as fuck.
I haven't found a single stand-up of his that
Now, see, we argue that it has been losing quality. And they're not as funny. Like, Ball Hog wasn't as funny as Disgraceful.
Oh, no, absolutely not. No, yeah. No, his newer stuff, he's gotten more into longer storytelling. Like, he connects details rather than, his little, like, he got to the point fairly quickly in some of his older stuff, and now he kind of draws it out. Like, I think we still get the same yuck factor, it's just not as frequently because he stretches out his stories, but yeah, I still put him up there. And it's crazy because, we didn't put any of, like, what people would assume would be the icons. I mean, you did with George Carlin.
Right.
But, I mean, Eddie Murphy,
Right.
George Lopez.
George Pryor.
George Pryor, Bill Burr.
Richard Pryor.
There we go, Richard Pryor.
I apologize to all the Richard Pryor fans. I don't know where George came from. Richard Pryor.
Okay, I gotta give an honorable mention. Let's do honorable mention. Like, miss the Rushmore. Like, if you had to, 1 or 2 or even 3, hey, you
Do you know how hard it was coming up with 4?
Yeah.
Probably Michael Shea.
Yeah.
And see, I don't like a lot of the old school comedians. Not that they were bad, they just weren't for me. Like, I laughed a little at Eddie Murphy. I lost my mind at George Carlin. He's always been my favorite. Lewis Black is definitely okay. Lewis Black is definitely an honorable.
I mean, like, okay, there's like Cat Williams. He had a couple good stand-ups. That's why I couldn't put him in there.
He says the N-word too much for me.
Makes you uncomfortable.
Too much.
Kevin Hart. Neither of us had Kevin Hart.
Fuck, he's also an honorable mention too.
Yeah.
Okay, so my 3 honorable mentions. Can I stop naming off comedians? My 4th honorable is Lewis Black, Kevin Hart, and who's the other one?
Fuck that third one. All right, so we got our comedians out the way. Pick a topic.
Well, I gotta go movies.
Okay. Mount Rushmore of movies. You probably already have them loaded, so...
Oh, bro, I have my top 20 loaded.
You're gonna have to give me a second on this
No,
one.
that's fine. That's fine.
Thinking.
I'll go with mine. Number 4 for my list is going to be Hard Candy.
Never heard of it.
Number 3 on my list is going to be Pulp Fiction. Number 2 on my list is going to be Kill Bill. And number 1 is going to be Scarface.
See, you're way more, like, sophisticated than me. Like I said, this is all opinion. These are movies that, like, I just enjoyed tremendously.
You're a comedy guy too, so I'm assuming that's where most of the, which is fine. Like,
I'm not even sure.
No,
I know. So that's the thing. I don't know in what order to put them in. That's the hard thing. I I guess it'd probably be easier not to list them 4 through 1.
Yeah,
It's just the 4 names.
Yeah.
So if we're talking just 4, Law-Abiding Citizen, Remember the Titans. That's just a classic. I watched it a million times as a kid. 3, I'm going Shaun of the Dead. That's my third one.
Yeah, that'll be an honorable mention for me. Shaun of the Dead would have just missed.
Shaun of the Dead. We literally watched that so much that we actually damaged the disc. Like, not because we scratched it, but because it like melted. We had warped that shit.
The amount of times a movie has to be played for the disc to essentially melt and warp. We had gotten it from our uncle, who bought it for us, and we watched it. People think we're exaggerating. I keep telling them we watched it every day, all day for a month straight.
Mm-hmm.
It was just on repeat.
And there was
how much a disc has to spin to.
We even watched it with like the directors or like the little facts that pop up. Like, what was it? They say the F word like 76 times or something like that. Yeah, we watched that shit. And then when it burnt out, didn't Sean got us another one?
Yep. He went out and bought us another copy.
We loved it. So yeah, so definitely Shaun of the Dead.
So that would have just missed. No, I have not watched Kill Bill that many times. No, I have not watched Pulp Fiction that many times or Scarface. But these it's on my list. It's just missed.
So I got one more movie. But that's something we were talking about is like, have you ever liked a show so much that you wish you could forget that you ever watched it just so you can experience it for the first time? And I got a couple like those.
Sons of Anarchy, Breaking Bad.
I got both of those.
Dexter. The Sixth Sense.
Not sure what that is.
The movie where Bruce
The
Willis
movie,
is dead.
okay. I thought because everything you named was a show. And I was like, I've never seen that show.
Gotta forget The Sixth Sense and watch it again. Spoiler alert for those of you who haven't watched it in the 70 years it's been out.
In the fourth one, I don't want to say number 1, but my fourth Mount Rushmore for movies is a little corny.
I like corn.
The Sound of Music.
Really?
Dude, that's
musical.
I love
I
that.
mean, Nightmare Before Christmas would probably also be an honorable mention for me. That would have just missed.
But with me, The Sound of Music is nostalgia because I remember watching it every year in elementary school around Christmas time. That was one of the approved movies, and they always showed it. So it took us a couple days to fully watch it and just the little musical they do before they go upstairs and. I'm telling you, like, there are times, like, I use some of those lyrics, like, it's like, oh, doe, a deer, a female deer, Ray, a drop of golden sun, me, a name I call myself,
So we just had Kalen performing The Sound of Music on Talking Ish, and I feel like why we're not viral already is beyond me. So, Savannah says... her Mount Rushmore for movies. These are actually a lot. She said, I just picked the movies I will never say no to watching. Fifth Element, The Witch. Watch it with subtitles, but do watch it. It's like old-timey English. I mean, like, ye old. Okay? And not even. Like, you'd have to watch it too and talk. Like, you have to watch it with the subtitles. You have no idea what the fuck you're saying. So The Witch, the Alien franchise, the first 3. She has something against the last 2 or last one, which I'm not saying is wrong at all. They're iffy for me as is, but the first 3 and Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy's an honorable mention. Tommy Boy. I got 2 honorable mentions in both movies. I only know about because of Sean. Shout out Sean. It's Tommy Boy and The Big Lebowski.
Have you ever seen Fargo?
I have not. I would actually. So,
You've never seen Fargo?
no. Is the show and the movie like?
I've never seen the show.
Oh, I wonder if they're the same thing.
What's the show about? Just what's the plot line?
I don't know.
Oh, you've never seen it either?
No, I've never actually watched
Okay.
the show.
Well, the movie's about this chick who's this guy hires these two guys to kidnap his wife, and it just shit goes sideways, and the cops get involved, and whatever. It's directed by the Coen brothers. So good. Steve Buscemi's in it, and that one Russian guy. You all know exactly who I'm talking about, although you may not know who I'm talking about at the moment. It's that one Russian guy. He's in everything, but I can't name what he's in to put a face to your... He's in it, though. He's in it. Good.
Okay, he's in it.
He's in it. He's in it.
All right.
So we did movies, and you guys can also comment if there's a topic you want us to do our forum. I tell a story. I have to tell a story because it's been bugging me, and I want to tell the story, but I'm having a hard time understanding where to fit it in. So I don't think.
Did you try spitting on it?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to do a topic in which this flows naturally. But when I was in Florida, I was having gallbladder attacks. I had an infected gallbladder, gallstones, and so I had to call an ambulance. And I was throwing up like crazy. The ambulance comes, and hold on, because the whole story is it's all one night. So I'm in the ambulance, and I can't stop throwing up, and they notice I'm not throwing anything up, so they're trying to keep something in me. So what do they do? IV. He wants to put an IV in on the way to the hospital. I tell him to swiftly go fuck himself because I don't do needles. And he looks at my arm, which has a tattoo on it, and he goes, "You don't do needles." Now I want to point out that this was the EMS. What the fuck are you arguing with me for? Isn't your job to keep me... You know what I mean? I didn't realize I was going to get into a boxing match with a dude who was trying to save my life. Really, you don't like needles? So I explained to him that you shoving a needle in my arm as slow as humanly possible is not the same as getting stabbed with fucking 76 needles in a span of... It's not the same. So go fuck yourself. So I refuse to let them put the IV in, and he explains to me that there's two options. They have to get liquid. It's either the needle or the suppository. Of course, I picked the needle, and it wasn't until later, like nowadays, can you get water by shoving a pill up your ass? Or was that... Did he go, okay...
My guy chose the needle.
I did choose the needle. I'm not gonna let... Oh yeah, we just... Oh, you think all needles are the same?
Was he gentle about it?
He was not. So that was the first argument. I say, fine, put the needle in. They put the fucking IV in. We get to the hospital. They roll me out of the ambulance. So we roll down into the rooms or whatever. And as soon as I pull in, they got doctors and nurses, and everyone's like fluttering on me. They're trying, checking my pulse, all the shit that they have to do, getting my vitals and doing what I know doctors and nurses to do. Out of nowhere, a woman who was not in scrubs, she did not have a clipboard or a stethoscope, she didn't have an ID badge, and she didn't look official in any way, shape, or form, runs in, shoves her hand up my shorts, and grabs my dick. And then promptly leaves. I can't imagine what test that was. or if there was somebody in the back, like, hey, we got some dude, we think he's dead, you gotta go in there, grab his dick, that gets the fluids. You know, we gotta get his heart pumping, get the liquids back in him, so just go in there, grab his dick, and just leave. What if he asks questions? Fuck the questions. We need you back here to grab this guy's dick.
You're gonna be grabbing a bunch of dicks today. Let's get rolling.
That's your job. That's your job. We hired you as the dick grabber. You just walk in there, grab it. Do you want me to no, none of that. None. You just grab it, and then leave.
Okay.
Also, do it. Don't let them ask. You don't want them to catch you, so do it at literally the most chaotic time humanly possible, so you can just slip in and slip out.
Okay, so.
And she's like, "Hey, do you have a right to hire me for this hospital? Do they know you work here?" I don't work here.
You're just getting paid by some guy on the side
Just
to
to grab
grab
dicks.
patient dicks. Okay, so since we're on the topics of dicks. Okay. So, this was years ago, but
We were doing a Mount Rushmore episode.
well, now we're doing some dicks.
Now we're doing dicks.
So I'd been feeling really sick to the point where every so often I would get a sharp pain right up my stomach, and it was killing me, and it would go away, and I'm like, all right, I'm good. Well, then days passed and it got closer and closer, almost like contractions, like they got closer together, more pain, whatever. Well, I got sick of it, and I want to say 1 a.m. one morning I woke up in pain. I'm like, fuck this. So I go to the ER. And
Piss?
please.
Keep that thought. We just received a news bulletin. My son gave us topics. Games. Shoes.
Socks. I mean songs.
Okay, so that's an
I
N.
don't know how to say.
And there's a G in songs.
I
There's no E. And piss.
Oh, that says please.
PLS.
P.
Come on, guy. Get with the times.
P-I-Z.
Anyway.
P-I-Z is please.
Yeah. Shorten.
P-L-Z. That explains why I thought it said piss.
Oh.
So it says... that says piss.
That's please. Anyways. So I finally had enough. I went to the emergency room, brought myself in, and they're running tests and doing some shit, and they get a pee sample, all that shit, and then we get to the point where they think they know what it might be. Now they just have to test for it. Well, when this guy's like, "Hey, we need to do an ultrasound," and I'm like, I'm not pregnant, so I'm
Real
in.
quick. I'm not trying to, real quick, that's fair. When they told me I had to do an ultrasound for my gallbladder, I was like, I'm not pregnant. I didn't realize, laugh at me if you want, I didn't realize ultrasounds could be used outside.
For
of
other
the
purposes. I didn't either. At this point, I'm like, what? Okay, you're the doctor, but you ain't gonna find nothing.
I feel like we should retest you.
So they put me in a gown, which is weird, because I'm like, the gown covers your belly. I'm like, you're gonna have to yank my gown way the fuck up, to check my stomach. So they put me in a gown, and then this nurse walks in. She snaps on her gloves, she starts, putting stuff on her fingers, the little jelly and stuff like that. And then she lifts me up, and my dick's exposed. And she just takes my wiener and throws it up on my belly like I'm a bitch. And then starts to massage this jelly on my scrotum. My balls were getting the ultrasound. Turns out I had... don't quote me on it. Don't quote me on it. I think it was called, epididymitis. The actual... your balls, the things they're connected to, those were infected. And I had to take some, crazy expensive shit.
You had surgery on your balls?
She frustratingly moved your dick out of the way.
Well, okay, so it was, balls, and then there's the dong, and then, it was in her way, so she just, flipped it, and and then it just smacks me in the belly, and I'm just laying
How
there.
would his dick sit up on his balls like that?
She just rubbed your balls.
Okay, go away. First
I
of all,
told Brittany this story a million
if
times.
I walk into a doctor's office, see, I think I'm okay with the grabbing. Had that chick in the doctor's office, or when I was doing it, like pulled my pants down and then like gently placed my dick on my belly, I think I'd be way more upset.
Well, first off, let's get this out the way. She didn't gently place it, bro. She flipped it up, kind of
See,
like.
all I keep thinking about is like.
You ever seen those medical, like the first aid kits,
Yeah.
where you gotta unbuckle it and then you flip that latch? Yeah, she just flip, and then went to business, and then we figured out what was wrong with me, and they were able to clear it up. But
Like, cool. Are we gonna start the procedure after this? I didn't know you guys had this kind of service.
I'm like, yeah, damn.
I figured this would be after the exam, but beforehand, I'm cool with that. No
Some
foreplay?
Make-A-Wish over here.
Is this covered by my HMO?
But I'm not gay. HMO.
Oh.
I forgot what show it's from, but he was like, he called his doctor. He's like an HMO. He's like, I know he's a bad guy, but you ain't gotta call him name or some shit like that. It was. Anyway.
Oh. Yeah.
Yep.
But no, that was, and I never asked. I never questioned. She just, as far as I could tell, she did what she was probably supposed to do. Why that involved grabbing me is beyond me, but job well done.
Nah, I've never been put in a situation like that where I've like been rushed into a hospital. Other than my car accident, but I've never had to call an ambulance out or whatever. I did have to have the front part of my thumb reattached. Cause I want to say I was in my first apartment when I was 18, and I had like a dollar store can opener. So I'm opening a can of ravioli, and it's frustrating because I want to say I'm like 15 minutes in, and I only got about half of this can opened. So I stick a knife in there and I pop it open a little bit, like just enough to get my thumb under there, and I tried to like pull the rest of it back. You know what I mean? Like you went on like a gallon of milk or whatever. So I went to peel the top back, and I felt a sharp pinch. So like I knew I had cut myself. Like once I felt the pinch, so like I ran to the sink. And, like, I start putting water on it, and I'm like, oh, it's just bleeding. I can put a Band-Aid on it until, like, I rotated my hand, and the water hit from here. You can I actually have the scar. It's hard to see. It's, like, right there. But right when I went like this, it just flapped open. And I was like, yep. So we ended up, my buddy Jake was there that night, and he ended up taking me to the hospital.
That sent a shiver up my spine. That hurts.
Yeah, they had to stitch it, and they were like, what were you doing? I was like, I was just trying to eat a can of ravioli, and then the can attacked me. Like, I never ate that can of ravioli. Like, I got home and threw it away.
What were you doing to cut your thumb like this? I was trying not to starve to death.
I was trying to eat some fucking raviolis, like...
I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
Alright.
Can you not bounce your belly?
Alright, here we go. We're gonna do a Mount Rushmore of a sports topic.
Okay.
I don't want to do one that's hella obvious. Okay, Mount Rushmore doesn't have to be in any order. For your 4 defensive GOATs. Your top 4 of all time, top 4 defensive players.
Okay.
Because we might just feed off each other with certain answers.
Because it's Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis, obviously. Ray Lewis, yeah, definitely Ray Lewis. So yeah, Ray's on both of our list.
Ed Reed, Sean Taylor.
Sean Taylor is going to be an honorable mention for me just because his career was so short. He's legendary, but...
I think he did it.
Damn, this is...
Oh, Savannah said she had a thumb flap too, and she glued hers back on.
they stitched mine, and I only remember that because like right here is where one of the stitchings ended, and for like 3 years I had what I thought was a wart. And I was like, damn, like I didn't want to fuck with it. And when I was at working at FFP, one of those plates cut me, and I was like, fuck, like it caught it. So I'm like, shit. Well, when I pushed on it, because like some white started to come out, I pushed on it, and pus started to come out, and then I actually pulled a stitching. They put a stitch in there that never dissolved. It like caused an infection, and that's what was on my thumb for years, and now it's gone. It was wild.
So what are your...
Alright, so I know I have Ray Lewis. It's crazy because like I don't know of any like recent players. Like for me, that's probably the most recent I get. Okay, if we're talking about like iconic, these are the four, in my opinion. In my opinion, the four greatest defensive players of all time. So we got Ray Lewis. We have Lawrence Taylor. I gotta go Troy Polamalu. He was just built different.
I forgot about him. Yeah. Yeah. I have not seen players like
And I want to go
Ray
Bruce
Lewis.
Smith.
Oh, what about Lawrence Taylor?
Lawrence Taylor. Yep, that was him. Yeah, I got Ray Lewis, Lawrence Taylor, Troy Polamalu, Bruce Smith. So the most recent we have is Ray Lewis. Yeah. They just don't make them like they used to, and hear me out. Like, I'm only 30 years old. Like, I'm getting there, but, like, I'm not at that point where I'm like, man, back in my day, us running backs used to do damage. Like, no, like, I respect the old shit and the new shit, but,
back in the day, their pads were fucking massive, though.
Yeah, I mean,
players were 3 times the size they are now.
But I swear, like, the safety position is just something... It's not what it used to be. I don't want to say it's worse or better. It's just definitely different. Because when you get guys, when you get safeties like, Troy Polamalu, Brian Dawkins, some of the fucking heavy hitters you had, John Lynch, like, they were built different compared to nowadays. Like
John Lynch, Rondé Barber.
Barber was a corner, but yeah, I remember him. I still think Tiki was the better of the Barbers.
Tiki was a back, though, right?
Running back, yeah. Definitely talented.
Yeah, I guess I said back. There's a cornerback, quarterback, running back. I assumed.
Yeah, I know you meant backfield. That's another thing in the NFL, man. Dude, fullback position's dead. I mean, it has a little heartbeat.
Tell me why? I'm being honest because I don't know, and I thought maybe you understand the evolution or what happened to.
I mean, they use more. Well, first off, running backs have gotten much larger, much faster, much stronger. They're just totally built different now.
The phrase for this week is "built different."
Oh yeah.
And bruv.
Well then, I mean, and then you you get the blocking tight end now, so. It's just the way the NFL has evolved. Like, fullbacks were just... Like, you got a guy like Mike Allstott. It's like, back in the day, man, that guy was a big sumbitch. Put him next to Derrick Henry. Like, dude, Mark Ingram's a big dude. And, dude, Derrick Henry towered over him. You get these big, just athletic freaks of nature now.
Wait, I don't know if anybody's going to understand what I'm saying, but if you don't understand what I'm saying, if you're watching this and you don't know football, please, Savannah, is it just me or does Derrick Henry in his uniform look like a high schooler trying to play Pee Wee football?
He does. Absolutely.
His outfit
doesn't fit.
It doesn't fit. It looks like it's 2 sizes too small. He
looks like a fucking crop top.
Yeah, it looks like he's a high schooler that is trying to play Pee Wee football. It's the weirdest fucking thing. Like, he just jotted on the field and they gave him whatever they could find. They're like, now Now at running back, Derrick Henry. You think he comes out like, give me the ball, coach. Give me the ball. I'm ready to score some touch goals.
I got some touch goals for you.
But no, Marshall Falk and Warwick Dunn were the little guys.
Well,
Warwick Dunn should have been killed on multiple occasions.
dude, Warwick Dunn was a dog. He was
so
built
tiny.
different. Well,
He said it.
if we really want to talk about it, like when you think of that, like, okay, greatest running back of all time,
Walter Payton.
Walter Payton. Okay, you're entitled to your wrong opinion, but the greatest running back of all time is Barry Sanders.
Okay,
yes,
so can we just pause? We're gonna continue the conversation as if this conversation didn't happen. But I said Walter Payton as a Jags fan, showing absolutely no bias whatsoever. But I would point you to the gear Homeboy's wearing, and just so happens to say Barry. You know what? I'm gonna change my answer. Fred goddamn Taylor.
Fred Taylor wasn't even the best Jaguars running back of all time.
Yeah, the fuck he was.
MJD.
No, he wasn't.
MJD was that dog.
No.
And here's the thing, even though he left the team early, Leonard Fournette may have a better career. So he'll be the greatest Jaguar of all time.
No.
Yeah.
No. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
we do BDSM fighting here.
Shut up, bitch. But no, that is no bias. That is just, I mean, if you're talking about the greatest running backs of all time, I will give you two possible fucking options. Two, and I will give you a reason why Barry Sanders is better than the other options. You got two options. You got Jim Brown, you got Barry Sanders. The only reason Jim Brown's in that conversation is because he won Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same season. Now, if you go back and look at that guy's stats, dude ran for like 700 yards and won the MVP. He was playing against janitors. Like, the people he was playing against were teachers by day and getting balled on by Jim Brown in their fucking spare time. Jim Brown was talented, but he was never pushed to his full potential because he was playing against fucking paralegals and garbage men. You know, it was, no.
I can't. What's the end goal for talking ish? Is what I'm asking myself right now. And as I hear Kalen talking shit about Jim Brown, and as we continue to talk shit about celebrities, we have not made it if we make $1 million. We have not made it if we end up on other talk shows or people bring us in to talk about our talk show. We have not made it if we start fucking celebrities. We have made it, in my opinion, when we piss somebody off of knowledgeable name to like tweet at us.
That's when you know you've made it.
That's when we've made it. If we say something about Miley Cyrus and she fucking tripping Kalen on talking ish, apparently, I'd be like,
We fucking made it, guys.
that's when we made it. So I'm hoping at some point in the future that happens and we just are pissing celebrities off and
No. So I saw something today, and I think I brought it up in our fantasy league before. If you guys weren't aware, me and Trip are in a fantasy league together. We have been for about like 7 years now. We're on like year 7 or 8. The only difference between all the other years and this year is that this year was our first year of our Dynasty League, Keeper League. Won't go into detail, but we are in a fantasy league together. So a lot of the stuff that pops up on my TikTok is like sports related, sports and comedy, stuff like that. Well, this video came up and it was comparing two plays. It was comparing the one play where Buda Baker picked off Russell Wilson and he was tracked down by DK from behind.
Yep.
So there was video 1. And video 2 was a video of a Bucs linebacker. I want to say it might have been Barrett. It was either Barrett or Alexander. And he intercepted Matt Ryan, and he's running the other direction, and he gets chased down by Julio Jones. And what's crazy is I see a lot of people pushing for the Julio tracking down Shaq Barrett. Come on, like let's just talk about the two circumstances real quick. So Julio Jones.
I'm assuming Julio Jones was probably fucking playing janitors and teachers and.
No. But the thing is, Julio Jones tracked down a linebacker. DK Metcalf tracked down Buda Baker, who ran a 4.4. He's a safety. Fast as shit. And he got tracked down by DK Metcalf. Secondly, when Alexander or I want to say it was Barrett, when Barrett intercepted the ball and he came down, he went up, caught it, came down at a standstill, started running, had to change direction a handful of times. Julio finally caught him from behind. Buda Baker, when he caught that ball, was already still in motion. Like, it was a pick six. He was running, he caught that ball, and he was gone. Nobody in front of him, no change of direction. DK was track starring it. I'm not knocking Julio or anything. I'm just saying that, yeah, the DK Metcalf was definitely miles better and for very obvious fucking reasons. Just the way it is.
Well, that's 46 minutes. I want to try to keep it to 45 until we get some regular viewers and then maybe go on. So the topics we hit on our Rushmore were what? Movies, defensive players,
comedians.
And then we talked about dicks for a little bit. So that was today's episode. Just giving you guys a quick update. We would like to do Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. We recently picked up our theme song provided to us by Will Villain and Trop Fusion called Parking Lot. You can check that out. And that's what we're hoping to do and move into a regular schedule. And I want to make it clear that it was something we were talking about earlier today where we noticed that people's comments get kind of taken and skewed, and it could end up. And I asked my wife, Savannah, and I was like, "Is that something you think we got to worry about? People misconstrue? Like, we're not a news. We're not here to provide you with the news or."
If you trust us, that's on you, my guy.
Yeah.
Like
we are here to take our herbal medicine and talk shit. And if you think that I'm not going to mock up a merchandise with like talking ish herbal like pills or whatever take with fire.
You're an idiot.
All right. So this was Thursday. I know maybe we'll have an episode tomorrow to start on our Friday, Monday, Wednesday schedule. Maybe not. But if we do, hope to see you guys then. Appreciate all the love, support, and you guys can always comment, send messages, and let us know if there's something you want us to do. We have challenges coming up. We have make a content warning for the beginning and ending.
Kind of like on ridiculousness.
Yeah. All of our opinions are our own. Okay, so we're gonna do that. That's a good one. But we got challenges coming up. We had someone throw us the idea to drink the turkey gravy pop by Jones. Yeah. What? Yeah, I know. I read it. Oh. And then we also want to do a heat challenge, spicy, whatever. I also want to. The show will not be dedicated to just the studio. Like, we could end up going to a restaurant, doing a review on food or whatever. Just keep an eye out. I'd like to kind of expand, but right now this is what we're doing. Hopefully Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and hopefully you guys will swing by.
Yeah. So 9/11 was an inside job.
Yeah.